And so for today I wanted us to get started or just see what you can do with the command prompt which I have open here. And in command prompt, you can do quite a lot with the command prompt for your Windows. You can use it to run programs. You can use it to operate your computer. You can use it to do so much configurations. You can use it even to test your network. There's quite a lot you can do. And for you to run administrator, command prompt, what you have to do is for you to have all the privileges that command prompt has to offer, you have to run it as administrator. And for you to run anything as administrator, you can just search for it. So in this case, I can just search something like CMD command prompt and then just click run as admin. And I can now run it as an administrator. And what I'll do is I'll increase the font. What I'm doing to increase the font is I'm holding down control and then scrolling down my mouse, scrolling up, I mean, my mouse to zoom in. And this is the command prompt. There are quite a number of commands that you can use. If you maybe wanted to check up on the files, you can use a command like dir. This is to just check the contents of the directory. And the reason why we still have the command prompt is that actually in the olden age, you would find that most computers did not have a graphical user interface. It did not have these icons. So what you had to do was to communicate with the computer, not via a good presented graphical user interface on a monitor and mouse, but that was majorly through the command prompt. So you just write commands to the computer and the computer gets to do what you command it. And that is the same reason we still even have some editors like Vim. You normally would find that for an editor like Vim, it is not that friendly if you don't know what you're doing because it does not have a graphical user interface. So you have to do everything on the command line. And in this case, we're just going to look at some of the basics of the command line. These are just some of the basic stuff. I know quite a number of us know how to use the command prompt, and that is quite a good thing. And in this case, what you're doing is for the first command, you can look at a command like dir. But first of all, when we open our command prompt, this is if we run it as an administrator, this is the first thing that we see. Microsoft Corporation or rights reserved. So it's a copyright for Microsoft when it comes to the command prompt. And this is the first path that we see. So this path, okay, if you see this path, this is what we call a path or a path directory. If I was to copy this and open it in my file explorer, it should show that it's pointing to the system32 file or folder. I mean, so if I was to copy this path, let me just copy it actually. I can copy it. And then if I was to open it up on my Windows Explorer, and how you can do that is you can come up here and paste your path and then click on enter and it will take you straight to that folder. And now this is the folder that it's pointing to, this system32 folder. And this system32 folder has so much, it's like the brains of your computer. It's like the brains of Windows, I mean. We have system32, we have SOS WoW 64 for 64-bit. But in this case, we are opening it in the system32 folder. These are now the kinds of folders you don't want to mess up with, and it cannot actually allow you to delete because these are system files. These are now the system files that you need to take care of. And now when we open our command prompt in administrator mode, it's coming straight to system32. Here is where we can make quite a lot of changes in our computer by running the executables that are on this folder. And one command that you can use, in this case, we can use a command like dir. So dir will list all the folders or all the contents that are on that directory or on that folder. So when we do dir, it will list all these files that you can see here. That is what will be listed. So let's see, I've typed in dir. So the command is dir. And you should see like a hacking way. Maybe this is what the hacking movies do to us this way. So it's just listing out the directories. Uh, an eye that is not keen can say that you are hacking, and that's not the case. You're just listing out the details that are on that directory. So if you were to do that again, this will just show you all the all the details of that folder. But as you can see, there are quite a lot. And what you can do is we can clear everything if we wanted to. So if you wanted to clear the screen now, we just say clear screen, which is CLS, and it will clear the entire screen. That is how you can that is how you can go to go to different that is how you can view the different files. That is how you can view the different files. And now another thing that I want to show you is moving to folders or entering or exiting folders. And that is what we normally call the change directory. If you wanted to go to a certain folder, let's say you wanted to go to the desktop folder, what we can do is we can know the path of our desktop. If we click on desktop and then we click up here, I think we can be able to copy this path and paste it. Paste it. Uh, it's not giving the correct path, so I can just right click on anything that is on my desktop. Let's say cloud. I get the path of it, so I just go to properties, and this is the path. Where is the path? Details. Here, the path is C users rig desktop. That is the path of the of desktop. So if I was to copy this path, if I was to copy this path, C users, if I wanted to go to that folder, I can say change directory to C and then come full colon, then go to users, then go to my user is Rick, and then go to desktop. That is how I can go to the desktop folder. That is how I can go to the desktop folder. So if I click on enter, it should go to the desktop folder. If I click on dir, I can see the contents of the desktop folder. And just a minute, let me take this call.
Hello?
Oh, hello, hi, bro.
Yo, Eric, niaje?
And what we were looking at is how we can open maybe different folders by just specifying their paths. And now in this case, we were able to go to the desktop folder. able to go to the desktop folder. And for us to see the contents of the desktop folder, I can first delete. And if I want to see the contents of the desktop folder, I can just do a dir. And it shows me all the contents of the desktop folder. And as you can see, we have this command that is called dot dot. This dot dot, what it normally refers to is the folder that is behind this folder that we are currently in. If we are in desktop, the folder that is behind desktop is called RIC, and the folder that is behind RIC is called users. If I wanted to go back to RIC, I can just say cd dot dot, cd space dot dot. It will go back to the RIC folder. So let's see whether it will work. And as you can see, I've just typed cd dot dot and it has gone back to the RIC folder. And if I want to view what is in the RIC folder, I can just say dir. And by doing that, I can be able to see all the things that are in that RIC folder. And we get to see that there's quite a lot of different folders that are here. Let me just minimize on the, let me just do that. You can see that there are quite a number of folders here in this RIC. I don't know why it's displaying like that, but I think now it's better. It's more visible. And these are some of the files that are in the RIC folder. If I wanted to go back again to the users folder, I just say cd dot dot space dot dot, and then it goes back to the users folder. This is how you can maneuver different files and folders. In this case, we are maneuvering between folders. And if I was to do a dir, it will show me that users has the public user and my RIC user. If I wanted to go back to the C to the root, and I would just go cd dot dot again, and it will go back to the C folder, the C main, which is right over here. When you open your C drive, it's right over here. This is what is in the C folder, where it has the things like program files x86. If we were to do a dir, you would see we have all those folders that you have been able to see. The program files x86, Unity projects, all these things, users. Now, if you wanted to come to the users folder again, now if we want to go forward, we just type in cd and then we go forward. We type in the name of the folder. You just type in the name of the folder. In this case, it's called users. And if you do that, it will go to the users folder. And if you want to see the contents of the users, the same thing, just do dir again, and it will show you the users. If you want to go into the RIC folder again, just say cd RIC, and we are going back to the RIC folder. If you want to see the contents of RIC, just say dir, and you see that we have all this as the contents of RIC. If you want to, let's say now go to like the uh, downloads. Now, let me give an example of a file that has a space. If we were to say, if we wanted to go to the directory called saved games, this directory called saved games, it has a space. The saved games has a space. And the space is not treated as well when it comes to command prompt. So if I wanted to do that, I can say cd saved games, but this wouldn't work because here there's a space and it will treat saved as a command. So there's a certain way we have to treat spaces. If I just say cd saved games, you'll see the feedback. It will tell me, oh, actually it works. Oh, I think Windows fixed this. I think Windows then fixed this because It wasn't working in earlier versions of Windows. If you were to write something like this, CD saved games, I think in Windows 11 they are taking care of these. If I was to just go dir, saved games does not have anything. So let me just go back. Uh, cd dot dot. If I wanted to go to like the saved games and it's a folder that has a space, what I could do is I could just abuse the quotations, the quotes. So you would have to do save games with the quotes. And this is normally how you would maneuver to the files or access the files that have a space. So this is just to show you that you can be able to go through your computer and operate it from the command prompt. You can even actually run videos from the command prompt itself or open different files. If I wanted to open a file like, let's see whether I have a video. Let's see whether we have videos. Let's go to the videos. I need to go back. So I just say cd dot dot and then go to the videos. Am I in Rick? Yes, I can now go to the videos. So I just say cd videos. And then if I want to see whether there are contents of these videos, I can just do a dir. And yes, we have some videos here. We have this video. Let's say the first video. So what I can do is if I want to run this video, since I am in the same directory, since I'm in the same directory, what I can do to run this video is that I can just type its name. I can just type this entire name together with the extension. Don't forget to type in this extension. In this case, this is a .mkv video, and I'm sure it's a recording. I and if I want to run it, I just type its name, and what I can do is just select it and then copy paste. Just copy. Since there's a space, I want to see whether it will work now. Since there's a space, you can see here that there's a space 11, 12. Let's see whether this will work. I hope Windows also caters for such. So if you want to run any file, just copy its name, provided that you are on the same directory. So let me press enter. And yes, this is now what I was talking about. Since there's a space, it has not recognized that command. This 2024-07-11. That is what it's telling us right over here. 2024-7-11 is not a recognized blah 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 command. What you now need to do is you need to enclose these in double quotes. So you have double quotes and then you paste. Let me just copy it again. Don't know, copy and then we paste. Now, when you run it like this, it should now run perfectly without any problems. When you press enter, you can see it has started the
Hi, how are
recording.
you doing? My name
It
is
has
Eric,
started the
and
recording. It has played the video in short. That goes along for any file. If it was also a picture, let's try to open a picture. We just do cd dot dot and then we go to rig dir and then go to the pictures folder, this pictures folder. Let's say cd pictures, and after pictures we can select and see the pictures that are there. What you can do, we can access the screenshots. So you just go to the screenshots folder, cd screenshots, and we're in the screenshots folder and dir too. You can see I have quite a number of screenshots, So we can open any screenshot here. Let's pick any of them. Let's pick any of them. I hope it's not a screenshot. that exposes my bank details. So let's say a screenshot like screenshot 56. And this goes back to the thing that I was telling you. Screenshot 56. It has a space. You can see that it has a space. The thing that I think the system will tell me, screenshot is not recognized as a whatever. Screenshot is not recognized as an external or internal command. And if you see that, it's because we have a space right there. What you need to do is enclose it in double quotes. Screenshot 56. I won't copy, I can just write it .png. And this should open that screenshot. Now it should open the picture itself if I do enter. And as you can see, it has opened that screenshot, and this is it. So this just shows you that you can be able to operate your computer without actually the graphical user interface. Because if you want to run programs, let's say you want to run a program. So programs are normally found in the C program files. So let's go to C. If you want to go back to the root directory, you can just write C and then full colon. It will go back to the start here. You see here, it will go back to there if I do that. Uh, okay, see, do I have to? I think I have to specify that. Uh, C full colon. How do we go back to the home? Mm. Oh, CD. We have to do CD. Sorry about that. The reason why it was not working because we have to do CD because you are changing the directory, and that is something that I've always been teaching you. So you just have to say CD, C, and then you go back home. Why is it not? CD, C, blah blah blah. Yeah, you have to do that. You type in this C, and you have to type in CDC and then the backslash. And you can see we have gone back to the home folder. And in this case, what I want to access is I want to try and run a program. Majorly the programs are found in the program files. So I just change the directory to program files. And I am in the program files. And when I do dir, I'll see some of my programs that I have. I have Java, I have .NET, I have Adobe, Android, Arduino. Let's look for a thing that we can run. I have VLC. Where is VLC? I think I've seen VideoLAN. Yeah. Let's try and launch VLC. VideoLAN, which is right over here. To run the VLC, I'll need to go to the VideoLAN folder. And the way you know it's a folder, it's because it's written dir, because it's a directory. So you just go to the VideoLAN folder. So you just say cd VideoLAN, and it will go to the VideoLAN folder. And if I want to do a dir to see what is in the VideoLAN, you can see it's another directory called VLC. So I have to go into VLC. So you just say cd VLC. And after doing that, we can dir and see what the contents of VLC are. And the one that now runs VLC is the executable, this one, vlc.exe. This is what runs VLC. vlc.exe. And what I just need to do is to write that command, vlc.exe. And this should open up VLC. And you can see perfectly, it just does that. So this just shows you the quite the power of the command prompt. But there's also another thing we call the PowerShell. It adds more features to the command prompt, and also the guys that normally use Linux or Mac, they normally have the terminal, which is also quite very powerful because it can do so much more. Also, for let's say we also want to view a text file or readme, we have the readme text file, we have the thanks.txt. So let's see what the content of the thanks.txt are. So you just say thanks.txt and it will open up that text file. And as you can see, this is the text file. It's giving thanks to maybe the contributors to VLC or the software that has been used to create VLC and some different plugins. Another thing that we can do using our command prompt is we can also even be able to surf the internet. Okay, so if I wanted to open up my browser and go to a website like Google, I can say something very simple like start https then google.com www.google.com. This start command, it's normally used to start different things. It can start a process. It can start, in this case, we are starting our website or we want to go to this website. And when you press enter, it will go to the browser and go to Google. Let's use a more generic website. No, let's just use Google. www dot, let's say, decode.ac.ke. So let's see whether it will open that website. And perfectly, you can see it opens up the Qt website. So this just shows you that there's quite a lot that you can do using the command prompt, because all these commands that we are using here, you can write a program that can execute these commands automatically. You can write a command that I mean a program, and it's normally called a batch file. Go and research about making these batch files that batch files. So you can write a program that does does these commands perfectly by just using a program or just using a script. So go and research on how we can write batch files when it comes to the command prompt. And also some other things that you can do is you can also test your connection to the internet. I think you did run this on your networking class. You did try this in your networking class where you normally ping different computers. And here, what you can do is you can actually do some pinging. So ping is to just test your connection to a certain service or a certain website or a certain computer or a certain IP address. You can ping different things. In this case, let's try to ping this website, the Decode website, and see whether the connection will be successful. Ping could not find blah blah blah. Please check the name. Ping decode.ac. I don't know. Ping. Yeah, you can see we were pinging decode.ac.ke. This is decode.ac.ke. This is the IP that it used. This is the IP address that it used. And then you actually get a reply from that website, and the bytes are the time to live is 56. I'm pretty sure you went through this in your networking class. These are the statistics The packets that were sent were 4. The ones that were received were also 4. There were no any lost packets. And you can see it's a 0% loss. That just shows you that the connection is perfect or successful. So you can actually ping google.com. You can see it's now pinging google.com. And the same thing, you can see there is no packet loss. There's no packet loss. Yeah, these are quite a number of things you can do. You can do with your command prompt. Another thing you can do is you can also check up your disks. You can also maybe do a disk cleanup. You can check if you have any disk errors. So let's try and see that. What I can do is I can clear the screen. I taught you the command to clear the screen, CLS. And I want to go to the home folder. So I just do cd, C, then that was the command that we were using to go back to the root folder. And what I need to do now is I want to maybe check my disk. And what you can do is you can run the command check disk, dsk. That is for checking your disk. And you can see it has started to check the disk, and it tells me that the type of file system that my disk has is NTFS. If you wanted to check your disk and also maybe fix it, you can do check disk and then you do /F. Think right now it's scanning for you to, if you see this thing that is down here just blinking, it was just loading. And in this case, you can see it has started examining my disk, running check disk in read only mode. If you wanted to fix, maybe if it found any problems with your disk, sometimes if your hard disk has a problem, these are some of the commands that you can use to fix your disk. In this case, if you wanted to run your disk and also fix the errors that may be found, you just use the F parameter. Just use the F parameter, and that F parameter you just specify it after dsk, and then you do a / and then F. So it is scanning, and this takes quite some time. So it takes quite some time, and now I want to show you how you can terminate some things. And as you can see, it has finished stage 1. As you can see, it has finished stage 1. Now it's doing stage 2, file name linkage. It's examining that. And if you wanted to cancel this, what you can do is press Control C. Control C is what will be used to abort any operation that is taking your time, or if you want to stop the operation that is happening. In this case, I'll just do Control C, and you can see that it has stopped it. Control C has stopped the process. So what I was telling you, if you want to fix your disk, you can use this F parameter. So you just say chkdsk and then /F. That will scan your disk and try to fix it. And as you can see, cannot, because used by blah blah blah. Would you like to schedule this volume to be checked next time when the system restarts? Yes. So I have set it to be checked. I think it's because the process was being used because we were scanning up there. So what you can do is, once I've done this, it will start scanning my system, and it will try to fix any errors that it now comes across. So other things you can do using the command prompt. If you don't like this color, you can actually be able to change the colors that your command prompt has, and just write the command color. If you write color A, you can see it has changed its color. So A specifies a green color. Let's see the colors that we have. So let's say something like color help. You can see it will give you the help of the color. And in this case, you can see that letter A is for light green. Letter B is for light aqua. Letter C is for light red. Same case, letter number 4 is for red. Number 2 is green, blah, blah, blah. And you can mix and match these color. If no argument is given, this command restores the color to what it did what to what it maybe was. Let's just try it. Uh, Example, color FC. You can see you can mix different colors. Color FC, A, B, C, D, E, F. And also these numbers. So you can say color 9F. Let's see color 9F what it does. Color 9F. And as you can see, the first color specifies the first number specifies the background. Number 9 is the background. Where is number 9? You can see light blue. Light blue will be the background. And then the second color is the foreground. And F is bright white. So if I wanted, let's say, a background of green and a foreground of yellow, I would say color 2E. So it will be green and then the text will be in yellow. So color 2E. Let's see whether it will work. Color 2E. And perfectly, you can see that it is green and then the foreground is light yellow. So if you don't like the default colors that the command prompt has, you can you can just do if no arguments restore color blah 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 when the CMD started. You can just change the colors. Let's try color with no arguments. It's telling us that it should reset to the initial color to when CMD was started. Let's see color and voila, and that is it. Color it has restored to whatever we had before. So let's work with color green. Color green looks more hacky. So color A. Yeah, so that is color green and CLS. And now we can work with color green. Another thing that you can do with your command prompt, you can look for different you can see the network configuration in your machine, and to see the network configuration in your machine you can use a command like ipconfig, and it will show you the different IP configuration that you might have. You can see media state disconnected, DNS, domain name server, we have decode.ac.ke, wireless LAN adapter, blah, 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 media disconnected, adapter, media disconnected. These are now looking at the different adapters that we had. And I also told you that for hardware, all these machines have a hardware. I don't know whether these IP anyone who wants to hack me, they can use these different IPs because I have shown my IP before address, my default gateway, but this is just a dummy computer, so no worries. I don't fear for anything. Yeah, so this is the IP before address. This is the subnet mask. You learned about the subnet masks. These the ones that have the IP address of 255.255, and the default gateway is this one. And then we have the Bluetooth network connections. I'm not using any Bluetooth network connection. If I was, it would have appeared right over here. And these are some of the information that are coming from the card, the Wi-Fi card itself. I told you that we have a hardware card for these different systems. We have a hardware card in your machine. There's a hardware card for your Wi-Fi connection. It does not appear magically. There has to be a hardware system. Another thing that you can do is you can see the tasks that are happening in your computer. If you go to the task manager, you can be able to see the different processes that are happening. And in this case, if you wanted to see the task, it's just the same thing. You just say task list, and it will show you the different tasks that are happening. And in this case, you can see all these different tasks. Brave is because we are using the Brave browser. SQL Server, there's something that is using SQL Server. We have all these things. So these are the different tasks that are happening. This is the PID, is normally the process ID. The session name, session like hash itself. And you can also see the memory that is being used. So like the registry is using 26,000 kilobytes, which is 26 meg. That is 26 megabytes. Something like Brave, I would say it's using quite a lot. You see, memory compression is using almost a gig. It's using almost a GB. I would say even something like Brave. Let's see our browser. I'm pretty sure our browser is using quite a lot. You can see Brave. There's this one for 208. All these are for Brave. So Brave, I'm pretty sure it's using so much RAM, so much RAM, because from here all these are Brave. So I would presume it's more than 2 GB. It's more than 2 GB of my RAM that Brave is using. So here's where you can monitor all those kinds of things. SVST, OBS, because this OBS is what I'm using to record. And as you can see, OBS is also using a process in my processes. This is what we have. Yeah, so another thing, if I was to like show you some of the last things, you can also monitor or you can also do your Wi-Fi. Let's give an example of Wi-Fi networks. So if we have a Wi-Fi network, Nesh, we also have this command that is normally called Nesh. So Nesh is normally used to check up on the network too. And in this case, if I want to check up the Wi-Fi networks that I have ever connected to, I can do something like Nesh WLAN show profiles. These will show the network profiles that this computer has ever connected to. This is the different Wi-Fi networks that this computer has ever connected to. So if I press on enter, it should show me some of the Wi-Fi networks that this computer has connected to. And after doing this, what you can do is you can actually be able to see a password of any of the networks that your computer has ever connected to. And what you can do to see a password, let's say a network like Eric, this is my hotspot. So let's see the password for this Eric Wi-Fi or this Eric 5G Wi-Fi that I have. And what I can do is I can just say Nesh VLAN show profiles and then write the Wi-Fi name. Okay, write the Wi-Fi name. In this case, it's Eric 5G. So I just say Eric 5G. And don't forget, if it has a space like this Annabelle Pizza 2, if it has a space, if it has a space, you ensure you always have the quotes. And I hear like there's a question or something. I hope you have been seeing my screen. Or please repeat. Please repeat the command to see the list of networks. Yeah, it's the same command that I've written down here. It's the Nesh VLAN show profiles. And this session is being recorded, so you'll be able to have everything. You'll be able to check up on everything that you might need to look behind into again. So if you want to see the network profiles that the computer has ever connected to, you just say Nesh VLAN show profiles. And if you want to now see, let's say, the password or more attributes of that network, you just say again Nesh VLAN show profiles, and then you write your Wi-Fi name. In this case, it's Eric 5G. You write your network name. In this case, which is Eric 5G. Let me get rid of the infinity mirror. Uh, in this case, it's Eric 5G. So I'll just write Eric 5G. 5G. And after writing my Eric 5G, you need to add another command, which is key, which is the network key. You just say clear the key. Ensure that the key is clear. So this is what you add. Eric 5G key is equals to clear. If it was for Nyeri SDU, you just say Nyeri SDU key equals clear. If it's for iPhone, you just say iPhone. We'll actually test even for iPhone. So Eric key is equals to clear, and when I press enter, it should show me all the. If I press enter, you can see profile Eric 5G on interface Wi-Fi. It was a Wi-Fi network. Applied all user profile, and then it will give me the profile information. This is the version. The name is Eric 5G. Connection is connect automatically, auto switch. These are the connectivity settings. The SSID is Eric 5G. Blah blah blah. It will give you all the details of your Wi-Fi. And now here's where we get the security settings. Here's where now you get everything. Authentication, it uses a WPA personal. The cipher is this. The authentication is WPA2. The cipher is that. And then now the security key, this is the password. And it shows you that the password is present. And now what is the password? The password is contained in the key content, of which the password is this. The password for that network was QWERTY UIOP 10. And it gives you the other different things. But the most important thing for your case, I would say it's now this password thingy. But now there's a caveat. This only applies to Wi-Fi networks that you have ever connected to. Okay, these days there's no way you can hack into a Wi-Fi network that you have not connected to. Maybe if you use quite some very advanced technology, or if you do some social engineering. Majorly hacking these days, especially because we have so much encryption. What works best for hacking is normally social engineering, where you just get someone to click a link and then you try to get, maybe have them input their Wi-Fi details or their passwords, and that is just social engineering. It's not much hacking going in there. It's not like back in the day where you could just brute force maybe passwords and be able to get a password. These days it's quite difficult. So this only applies to Wi-Fi networks that you have ever connected to, of which they are the ones that have been listed over here. over here. So let's try and see the password for iPhone. This iPhone, I think the password for this iPhone was 123 128, because I think I'm the one who set it up. So you just say Nesh VLAN show profiles, and then the Wi-Fi name is iPhone, and then you say key equals clear, and it should show us the password for iPhone. In this case, I think it's 128. So we go. Oh, okay. I think I also changed its password to Qwerty QIOP. Qwerty, yeah. I think we had Nesh WLAN show profile. The following commands was not found. Oh, WLAN. I've written WLANs, not WLAN. So what I can do, if I want to go back to my previous command, I can just click on the top arrow. If I just click on the top arrow, I can go to my different commands. You can see I'm using the up and down arrows to go on top and down to the different commands that I have. You can see we can go back to all the commands that we have done for this session, even when we were changing directories, when you are opening screenshots, when you are opening videos, when you are starting websites. So let me go back to the last one. And what I need to do is Neshwilan, remove that S. And then the password for iPhone, I'm pretty sure it was 128. That's why I, I was surprised. So profile iPhone on Wi-Fi. This is now the profile for iPhone. The blah blah blah, this is what you have, and security key present, and the key content. You can see now my password was 128. So you can just actually go and test these out on some of the Wi-Fi networks that you have connected with your computer, and you'll see that you'll be able to see the passwords even for the CUT. Let's see for the CUT. Nesh Nesh will show profiles, the CUT, and then key equals clear. And then you can see the password for the CUT is the same password that you always input. Simple as that. So you can just go ahead and try all these things. Uh, there are quite a lot. There's quite a lot that you can do. Even like shutting down the computer. If I wanted to shut down this computer, I can just say shut down backstroke. If I wanted to restart, I can say / restart. If I wanted to shut down, I can say / s. And then I want to shut down, okay? Shut down s, and then I want for it to shut down after a certain period of time. So in this case, I want it to shut down after, let's say, 30 seconds or 20 seconds. I can say / t is equals to 20 seconds. And then if I want to add a comment, let's say I want to add a comment and say, I am shutting down. You can do the comment parameter, and then you do the comment that you want to show. So this will literally shut down my computer after 20 seconds. So you can imagine, this is the number of time in seconds. So let's say you're leaving your computer with a sibling, and you want them to use the computer for like 1 hour, and then the computer shuts itself down. You can leave such a command. So you just say shut down t, and then this number of seconds, you specify the number of seconds that are in an hour, and it's 3600. So you just write here 3600, and then you write the comment, hey sis, I am shutting you down. And this is what they will see when that time elapses. If that time elapses, they will see this. Hey sis, I am shutting you down after 1 hour because this is the time that you had specified. So in this case, we have done 20 seconds. We'll actually see how it works, but I won't shut down my computer because there's how you can reverse this. In this case, I'll show you how we can reverse that shutdown command. And it's normally called an abort. We can abort. So if your little sibling knows how to abort, they can abort that shutdown. So if I press enter, it should tell me, hey sis, I'm shutting you down after like 10 seconds. So let's see. You can see you're about to be signed out. Hey sis, I am shutting you down. So if I don't work on these in the next 20 seconds, I'll be shut down. So I'll just say, oh my, shut down, and then backslash A. What that backslash A does, it's normally aborts. So you can see log off has been cancelled. But if you want to try it on your computer, actually just try it and see that it will work. It will just shut down your computer. In this case, I did not want it to shut down because we have this session and we are recording. So that's why I have aborted. This is how you can abort. If you want to see all the different things that shutdown has, you can say shutdown help. And these are some of the things you can do with shutdown. All these commands are explained here. Shutdown, blah, blah, blah. I display the graphical user interface must be the first option. L log off. S, this is the S that I use, shut down the computer. R, restart. A, abort. Now this is the A I have used, about the system shutdown. P, turn off, blah, 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 hibernate. H, hybrid, performs a shutdown, blah, blah, blah. You can read all through all these commands. And you can also, if you wanted to go to the BIOS, you can use the shutdown and then you restart and then you go to /O. This will go to the BIOS. We cannot go to the BIOS because if you were to go to the BIOS, we wouldn't be able to share the recording and the computer would just restart itself. So you can just try this. If you wanted to go to the BIOS, you can do something like shutdown R and then you say O. When you press enter, this will now go to the BIOS setting. That is where you can set different things in your BIOS computer. And then the C, this is the comment that we used. Comment on the reason for the restart or shutdown. And the reason for this, we said that we wanted to shut down our little sibling. We just said comment C. Then force, blah, blah, blah. All these, you can read throughout all these. If for any command that you would want on Windows, I think you can be writing the help command. Yes, you can see. If you want to know how to use the ipconfig, you just say ipconfig help. If you want to use the Wi-Fi one, it was Nesh. Think you can just say help. And you can see it gives you all the commands available for Nesh WLAN. So Nesh WLAN, blah, 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 help. If you want to Nesh WLAN help, I don't know whether this will work. And also, it totally works. If you want to get the WLAN thing, just type Nesh WLAN and then help. Show profiles, you can see show, it will display information, start, stop. What I'm trying to show you is there is quite a lot that you can do with your command prompt if you know how to play around with it. So yeah, that is it for today. It was just to get to know how we can use this. Also, if you wanted to check up on our hardware, you can use a command like dxdiag. It will show you the different features of your computer or the different specifications of your computer. This dxdiag. This is what you can be using if you want to see the processors in your computer, some of the advanced details. it should bring up a display that will show us all that we need: dx diag dx diag diag. As detected, there might have been blah blah blah. Would you like to bypass? And yes, and this is what it gives us, the directed diagnostic tool, and it gives us the processor. In my case, you can see I am using a Core i5 6200U. And what we said is that the first number indicates the generation. So in this case, I am using a sixth generation machine. You can see my RAM is 12 GB of RAM. And it's because I added my RAM. And for the graphics, I have the Intel graphics, and you can see I also have an NVIDIA graphics card too on this computer. It will also display here. It will also show you the sounds that you're using. In this case, I am using the Dolby Atmos. Dolby Atmos is the some of the technology that is normally used in the IMAX. If you've gone to the theater, you normally hear those surround sounds in the cinema. They majorly use the Dolby Atmos. So in this case, if you're lucky enough and your computer has the Dolby Atmos drivers, you get a really good sound quality. So in my case, I'm using Dolby Atmos for gaming. But for that, the computer has to have them installed when it was bought. And so that is it. That is it. You can be able to do quite a lot with the command prompt in this case. And I hope for today you have learned out something. Don't worry, the session will be made available because we have recorded everything. If you want to go back and see some of these commands, you can just go back and refer to the video. Yeah, that is it for now. Maybe if there are any questions, think we can call it a day. Thank you.